Hi guys! Okay, I have another recipe I'm going to make today, and this time I'm making vegan cornbread for two, and it's from the minimalistbaker.com website, and she has a lot of different recipes, vegan, dairy-free, whatever. I don't think they're all vegan, but most of her recipes are vegan, and this is the kind of recipe you want to make when you don't want a whole ton of cornbread, but you feel like having a little bit for either some chili or just to have a small amount on hand as opposed to making a big pan of it. So this is perfect. Now I tried it once before and I think I missed something in the ingredients, so I'm making this again. And I'll tell you what it calls for. It calls for a flax egg. So I've got my ground flax here, and you're going to make a flax egg with some water and ground flax. It calls for unsweetened almond milk, which I used the last time, but today I have only vanilla flavored soy milk, which I'm going to use anyway. You need also apple cider vinegar, baking soda, 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, and when I made this the first time I used my own vegan butter that I made, which was perfect for this. A 1/4 cup of cane or granulated sugar, a tablespoon of applesauce, you need some sea salt, you need cornmeal, of course, which I have back here, and you need flour, and you're going to preheat the oven to 350. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get started mixing all this stuff together. Okay, so while your oven is heating, this is the time to make your flax egg, because you're going to need to let your egg sit for a little bit until it becomes gelatinous. And for this recipe, it wants 1/2 tablespoon of flax meal and 1.5 tablespoons of water. So I buy the whole flax seeds and then I grind them up myself. So this is 1/2 tablespoon, and then 1.5 tablespoons of water. So this is 1/2 tablespoon of water right here. So 1.5 tablespoons. Just mix it up a little bit and let it sit. At least a few minutes, and it will start to thicken up and become kind of gelatinous like eggs are. Okay, now I'm going to get my milk ready, and it calls for a 1/4 cup plus 3 tablespoons of plain unsweetened almond milk. Now you can always use plain unsweetened soy, or if you don't mind the extra sweet taste, you can use vanilla flavored. Since this cornbread is supposed to be a little sweet anyway, I don't think the extra sweetness will make a difference. So, let me get my cup measuring. So a 1/4 cup, and you're going to add apple cider vinegar to this to kind of let it start to curdle. That's a 1/4 cup right there. And then 3 tablespoons. So that's 1, 2, 3. And 1 teaspoon of either lemon juice or apple cider vinegar is what you're going to add to this. So I'm going to use apple cider vinegar since I have that, and I'm using an organic kind that I got at the store, at my local health food store. So you're going to pour that in and then just give it a little bit of a whirl. It's going to start curdling up, kind of like making buttermilk. Now this is the step I think I missed the first time. You're supposed to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda to your milk mixture after a few minutes. Okay, can you see that? Look how this is already like thick and curdled. So you're supposed to add the baking soda to this, and one of the ways to bake without using eggs and get things to rise nicely is to combine vinegar and baking soda. So the first cornbread tasted really nice, but I think there was something missing in it. It was the baking soda. So hopefully now I have solved that, and I'm looking forward to a better batch of vegan cornbread. Let me just take a look, guys, at the vegan flax egg. So you see that as well. That's getting nice, and did you see that? Goopy. Very egg-like. That's exactly how you want that. Okay guys, so now you need to take a 1/4 cup of sugar and put it in your bowl. So I have my bowl here. And I'm adding, I don't have any cane sugar right now. You can use coconut sugar if you want, but I'm just gonna, when it comes to baking, I prefer my coconut sugar for my coffee and stuff. So I'm going to just put granulated sugar into there. And now you also need to take your vegan butter and put, I think it's 2 tablespoons, and add that to the sugar, and then you're gonna mix. That's 1 tablespoon, and if I have a little extra butter, I'm not gonna worry about it. I actually do have enough. I might add a little bit more butter here. Because she said you could always add a bit more butter as opposed to, I think it was applesauce, something like that. So, you know what? Yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. I'll put a little, let's call that 2½ tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna mix that. Mix that with your sugar. Now to your sugar and butter mixture, you're going to add a tablespoon of applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. And that's another trick for vegan baking. Oftentimes just some applesauce will work as a great egg replacer, or even banana. Just depends on the flavor you're trying to achieve, whether you'd use something like banana or not. Okay, so you add that. I'm going to just give that another mix. And at this point, I believe I'm going to add my flax egg. So I've got the applesauce, then there's the flax egg. So see how gooey it is? Totally egg-like in its gelatinous quality right here. And you're just mixing that in. Okay, once you've got the egg mixed, and I got a little bit of the sugar there, now then you're going to add your milk mixture. Okay. And that was an interesting experiment, because when I had added the apple cider vinegar, it became kind of thick and goopy, and now once I put the baking soda, it's thinned out again. So interesting. It's like a little science experiment. I guess baking is a science now, isn't it, guys? Okay, so now that you have your milk added to this, I think it's time to add the, okay, that's right, salt, cornmeal. Okay, so let me just get the salt measured and the cornmeal, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, the recipe says to add a pinch of sea salt, and I've got pink Himalayan sea salt here. Then a 1/4 cup of cornmeal, plus 3 more tablespoons of cornmeal. 1, 2, that's 3, guys. Okay, so that's the cornmeal. And I'm also adding a 1/4 cup and 3 tablespoons of flour. So the exact measurements of the cornmeal, I've already measured that out. And you're just going to mix. It says mix until just incorporated, so don't over mix it. And it can look a little bit lumpy, but that is okay. That's what you're going for. So you just want all the ingredients incorporated. That looks just about good there. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. And yeah, I see it looks a bit lumpy, but that's what the recipe says you should be going for. And I think that's it. Now, if you have 2 ramekins, this should fit into 2 ramekins, but if not, you can use muffin tins. And I'll be using a muffin tray here, and the last time this made 4 cornbread, so I'm going to do that, and you're going to bake for 28 to 35 minutes, maybe a little less with the muffin tin, because it's not going to be as big as a ramekin. So I'm just going to get my muffin tin out and put my mixture in there, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I have some liners in my cupcake tray here, and I'm just going to fill this up. If I need one more, I'll add it. And I think I'm going to bake this for 30 minutes. And 30 should be good. And see how that turns out. Like I said, I don't think I'll need 35 because this is not going to be as big as a ramekin. Oops, there we go. Alright, so I've got 5 actually filled out of this, and I'm going to just taste this. Very good. A little sweeter, I think, than the first time, with the vanilla soy milk. But that's okay. This is something that can be sweet. And it's delicious, guys. I'm going to get it in the oven, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, guys, I actually checked these after 28 minutes, and I stuck a toothpick in, came out clean, and just to be certain, I stuck a knife into one, came out clean, and definitely, compared to the last time, these have risen and given that nice dome shape more. The last ones I made didn't rise as much, so I forgot the baking soda, and that has definitely made a difference. Okay, I'm going to wait until these are cooled a bit, and I'm going to try some with a little bit of butter and maybe I also have maple butter. So maybe butter and a little bit of maple butter, and I'll tell you how they are. Okay, guys, it is time for the taste test. I'm just going to put some butter. Maybe it's too much. Okay, I'll take some off. Some vegan butter. Let me try it like that first, just like some of the vegan butter. Perfect. Absolutely delicious. I'm going to put a little bit of the maple butter on this as well. And I'm cooking some apple sage field roast sausages, and those are so good. I think I did a review on the new version of those like a long time ago, but absolutely delicious, guys, with maple butter. I see why people like this with like honey or jam or something sweet as well as the butter. Really, really good. This is a win if you want to just make a small batch of cornbread. If you use a muffin tin, you should get 5 out of that. And thanks to Minimalist Baker for her recipe. It's great. Alright, guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.